All right, welcome to the next video in this course. And in this video, we will be talking about what is Spring anyway. So, Spring Framework is a set of libraries that allows developers to greatly expand Java's functionality. So, what that means is Spring Framework is basically just a big suite of classes that allows you to add functionality. So basically, it will give you access to implementations such as Spring Security, Spring Database Management, web services, and much, much more. There's so many different libraries out there that I literally can't name all. I probably haven't even used them all. There's a lot, and they're continually adding on more and more to for Spring to just be functional with a lot of different external just architectures and other libraries. It's just a lot that Spring offers. It's so much. Once you get in, you're just gonna see a lot of different things that you can do. Um, the way that Spring Framework allows us to access these implementations is through what they call configurations. So configurations are just basically how to set up what they have. So the code's already written. You're just configuring it to work with what you're doing. So this will be all made simple once I actually show you how it's done. Um, Configurations are made by writing XML files. Since we're using Spring Boot, you will not be writing any XML files. So if you were a little nervous about that, don't worry about it. We're not using the XML files, but underneath, that's how it works for the Spring Framework. By using the Spring Framework, Spring will be doing all of the heavy lifting for all the code that we write. Pretty much, you'll see how simple it is to write a Spring Boot application using Spring. It is ridiculously easy, and we can rest assured that the code is correct and is error free. And so it's great. It's very good. Now that was the Spring Framework. What we will be using is Spring Boot. So Spring Boot is built on top of the Spring Framework. It really streamlines the process. Hence the boot standing for bootstrap, because it bootstraps the Spring application. So the way it does that is through its process called auto configuration. So basically, instead of us writing those XML files, Spring Boot pretty much just already has a simple implementation of whatever you provide for it. So instead of you writing those XML files, it has a default configuration already done. So what you would need to do is just change what parts of the default configuration that you would like, and the rest of it's just auto configured. Some people like that, some people don't. I like it personally. I mean, if you don't like it, change the configuration. So the way Spring Boot adds its dependencies, it makes it really simple to have the application. So when you add a dependency onto the class path, Spring automatically detects that and starts up the auto configuration for that dependency. So if you needed security and you put the security Spring Boot dependency on the class path, it will automatically give you basic authentication out of the box without you writing any code. All right, on to the next. Spring Boot assists in all of the heavy lifting. So as the regular Spring Framework provides a bunch of heavy lifting, Spring Boot does the exact same thing. It further assists in the heavy lifting. So a lot of the code we will not have to write because it's already done. So that's how it lowers the amount of code, and also we don't need to write really any configuration files. You can configure. I will show you ways to configure without having to actually write an XML file. All right. Why we should use Spring Boot? Because it allows you to make applications very fast and very reliably. Like I said, the code, the code's error free. Also, it gets you up and running like immediately. Like it's really fast and it's great. It vastly cuts down on the code length. So, as I said, the code's already written, so we don't have to write implementations for a lot of this stuff. And it cuts down on development time because we don't have to write the code. I mean, it's great. Also, it's widely used in enterprise companies. So, if you're working for a really big company, 9 times out of 10, you will see Spring Boot because of its reliability and its robustness. So this is all for this lesson, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video.